There's a news that is going to trend. They'll say, close the church.
More than 8,000 churches and mosques have been shut down in Rwanda this month for not meeting health and safety standards.
July 23, 2024, the Lord revealed to our global prophet, Prophet ABEL BOMA, concerning the closing down of churches in Africa. A recent came out in Rwanda saying the president has shut down more than 5,600 places of worship over failure to meet the conditions required for operation. Hear the prophecy, watch and share.
And now in the month of August, a lot of people will begin to, there is a news that is going to trend. They'll say, close the church. Australia, I don't know. We are about to see what we'll call close the church. Close the church in the month of August. We'll begin to hear when people say that, close the church. Arrest this man of God. Hold this man of God. Issues will begin to come out in these our African countries. And issues will begin to rise in Africa, not just Nigeria. But the moment we talk about closing the church, that's where everything is finished. We'll see it, close the church. Close the church. Church is our problem. Close the church. Close the church. Nigeria, close the church. Kenya, close the church. Everywhere in Africa, close the church. It's well. Let God help us. So in 2024,
more than 8,000 churches and mosques have been shut down in Rwanda this month for not meeting health and safety standards. Most of them have the country's places of worship and have been found to be violation of several regulations. The first major crackdown since a law tightening up operations was brought in 5 years ago. Klamadi Roma brings us more from Kigali.
The Rwanda Governance Board announced this week that it has already closed more than 7,700 places of worship across the country in recent weeks, the majority of which are small Pentecostal churches, but also several mosques. Most of the buildings constructed without adhering to national standards were deemed unsafe to host worshippers or insufficiently soundproofed. The leaders of these places must also present a degree in theology, for example. These criteria are the result of a 2018 law. At the time, President Paul Kagame stated that the country did not need so many places of worship. Churches and mosques had 5 years to comply, but several thousand have failed to do so. A pastor was arrested on Tuesday for continuing to operate after the closure of his church in the eastern part of the country. Another pastor, one of the few to publicly criticize the measure, called it extreme. He went as far as describing the closures as being institutionally violent, however, retracted his statements just a few days later.